In the beginning, there was no sky. There was no earth. There was only a suffocating darkness that breathed. It churned. It whispered. It waited. Before time learned how to move forward, the universe was a single monstrous egg, vast beyond comprehension, filled with swirling chaos. Yin and yang tangled together like fighting serpents, indistinguishable, inseparable. Light drowned in shadow. Matter devoured itself. Nothing had a name. And inside that cosmic prison, something stirred. For 18,000 years it slept. And then it opened its eyes. Pangu. He did not know his name. There was no language yet, no sound but the groan of chaos grinding against itself. But he knew one thing. He was trapped. The darkness pressed against him like wet soil. The air was thick, unbreathable. The weight of existence bore down upon his shoulders before mountains had even been born. And in that suffocating void, Pangu felt something new. Anger. He reached outward. His hands met resistance, dense, formless matter twisting like smoke and stone combined. The chaos resisted him. It whispered to him, "Stay, sleep, be nothing." But Pangu was not nothing. He grew. With every heartbeat, his body expanded, muscles carving themselves from void, bones hardening with ancient force. His breath became wind trapped inside a sealed tomb. And in his growing mind, a forbidden realization took shape. The darkness could be broken. From the swirling chaos, he forged a weapon, an axe born from will alone. It shimmered with raw creation, heavy with inevitability. The egg trembled. The whispers turned to screams. And with a roar that would echo through eternity, Pangu swung. The strike split silence itself. Light burst from the wound, blinding, furious, pure. The clear and bright rose upward, desperate to escape. The heavy and murky sank downward, dragging shadows with it. He had done it. He had separated heaven and earth. But the universe is not so easily divided. The sky, newborn and fragile, began to collapse. The earth, thick and unstable, surged upward to swallow it again. Chaos demanded reunion. Pangu understood the price immediately. If he did not hold them apart, everything would return to nothing. So he placed his feet upon the forming earth and lifted the sky upon his shoulders, and he pushed. Every day, the heavens rose 10 feet higher. Every day, the earth grew 10 feet thicker. And every day, Pangu grew 10 feet taller to keep them apart. For 18,000 years he stood there, alone. Imagine it, the silence of a world still forming. No birds, no rivers, no human prayers, only wind screaming across barren stone and the grinding strain of a titan holding reality open. The sky darkened and brightened in cycles. Storms gathered around his head like circling wolves. Lightning split against his shoulders. His breath became mist. He did not rest. He did not kneel. The whispers of chaos never truly vanished. They lingered in the shadows between heaven and earth, tempting him. Let go, return to stillness, become eternal darkness again. There were moments, brief, dangerous moments, when his arms trembled. What was he protecting? An empty world? A silent rock spinning beneath an unfinished sky? Why suffer for something that did not yet exist? And yet, deep within him burned a certainty. Separation was creation. Distance allowed growth. Without division, nothing could become. So he endured. Mountains began to rise where his feet pressed deepest. Valleys carved themselves from the tension of his stance. Rivers formed from the condensation of his endless breath. The world was taking shape around his suffering. He could feel it. Life stirred in the soil, faint, fragile, but real. The chaos screamed louder. It hated structure. It hated form. It hated him. Storms intensified. The sky tried once more to collapse. The earth convulsed beneath him. The strain became unbearable, even for a being born from the void. Cracks formed along his skin, glowing fissures of cosmic light. He was breaking, and Pangu understood one final truth. Creation demands sacrifice. With a final roar that shattered the forming clouds, he pushed the sky higher than it had ever been. Then, he exhaled. For the last time, his massive body began to fall. When Pangu collapsed, he did not vanish. He transformed. His breath became the wind and drifting clouds. His voice became thunder. His left eye rose and blazed into the sun. His right eye cooled into the moon. His blood coursed into rivers that carved the land. His muscles became fertile soil. His bones hardened into mountains. His veins turned into roads across the earth. His hair scattered into stars across the night sky. Even the parasites that crawled upon his skin, touched by divine essence, became the first humans. Small, fragile creatures, blinking beneath a vast heaven they would never know had once been held up by bleeding hands. And the whispers of chaos, they retreated. Not destroyed, never destroyed, but buried deep beneath the foundations of the world, in fault lines, in ocean trenches, in the dark corners of the human heart.
For separation is never permanent. Order must always resist collapse. And so every sunrise is Pangu's left eye opening once more. Every mountain stands as proof of his endurance. Every storm echoes with his ancient struggle. The heavens remain above, the earth remains below, not because they were meant to be apart, but because one being chose to suffer so they could become something more. And somewhere in the deepest tremors of the world, if you listen closely, you can still hear the axe striking, you can still hear the roar, and you can still feel the weight of heaven, held apart by sacrifice.